All of a sudden, everything in Philadelphia is going right for the Birds following their season-saving win versus the Raiders. As not only did Nick Sirianni and Kevin Patullo finally listen to our cries for changes on offense in a big way, but the Birds might have just avoided a very serious injury to QB1. Yet still could be looking to Tanner McKee, not in that way, but in a different way in the near future. All while their next opponent in Washington has not been so lucky. Plus, Vivek Fangio has a chance to do something we haven't seen in the past 3 years with this high-flying defense. I'm Thomas Mott, this is the Thomas Mott Show. It really is amazing what one good win can do for the overall momentum and, dare I say, vibes of an NFL team, especially in December. Because 2 weeks ago, despite losing on really the final play of overtime versus a very good Charger football team, all of us in Philadelphia had them basically left for dead, trotting down the same dark path of the 2023 collapse. And yet, after more than just a simple win versus the Raiders, but a win in which they made a ton of changes on offense, honestly, we're going to look at this. We've been begging for these week after week. Everything right now is trending in a very good direction for the Birds, including the fact their next opponent just got a lot more banged up. That will help, although Philadelphia did just dodge a massive bullet of their own. Also, giveaways. You guys know I do a ton of giveaways on my channel basically every single week, my way to give back to you guys for watching the show. However, I heard about this Roast Our Rivals contest. You might have heard about this. It's Kevin Hart and Grant Coromino coming together, and the prizes if you win, this thing is pretty cool. And it's super simple. Like every week, all you gotta do is roast the Eagles' next opponent. That's literally it. And the funniest roast wins Eagles gear, Grant Coromino swag, and then at the end of the season, one of you gets an unforgettable Eagles experience. I heard about it last year and the one this season. Oh man, it sounds absolutely incredible. And entering, it's really super simple. Just head to roastourrivals.com. I'll link it all down below, don't worry. Then submit your best trash talking. And they told me, let it fly. They said no filters, no holding back. They literally said, if you've ever yelled at your TV this season, Thomas, and I was like, yeah, the Eagles have had some bad games. I've yelled at my TV. They said, well, you basically already entered. Again, it's all linked down below. Check it out. You gotta be 21 years or older, and it ends January 4th, so submit your roast as soon as possible. The prizes, they sound awesome, and I'm very curious who has the best roast, so go down below, check it out. Also, it's your second chance to enter the signed Philly Dogs helmet or signed Jahad Campbell rookie card by going down below in the comment section, commenting Go Birds, and dropping a like as well. Plus, if you want an extra entry, trying to help my buddy's new channel Cardbox grow a little bit here, so go to his, I'll link it down below, drop a like, subscribe, and comment Go Birds on his recent video. And PSA, the scammers are out yet again. If you see somebody reply to your comment pretending to be me, it's not me. You didn't win. Report them. I only announce the winners on my show, and this one's happening later in the week. Now, in case you forgot, there was a moment in the Eagles' win over the Raiders where the win was suddenly sucked out of the link, as Jalen Hurts, late in the game, was scrambling, slid awkwardly here on that left leg, and then grimaced a ton afterwards and limped to the sideline. Hurts obviously stayed in the game through a touchdown pass. He seemed okay, but we do forget he did the exact same thing in the Rams divisional game a couple of months ago, and clearly after that game was not 100%, he had to kind of get that knee figured out. And so a lot of us Eagle fans were kind of waiting for Jalen to speak about the knee issue, for the injury report to come out to kind of go, is he going to be limited? Is it a serious injury? Is it something they're going to hide from us the next couple of days? And I think so far, the signs are looking pretty darn good for QB1.
Jalen, any lingering effects from that hit at the end of the third quarter?
No, I'm fine.
But of course, you don't just take Jalen's word for it. People can lie. It's how press conferences work. He also, though, did not appear on the Eagles' rather long injury report from Wednesday's walkthrough. And while we need to see him practice, got to see him on the football field the next couple of days, and we'll cover that, it does sound like he will start on Saturday and should be fine versus the Commanders. But all of this does lead to a broader question of, does Philadelphia have enough to play for once they win on Saturday and lock the division up to keep playing their starters the final 2 weeks of the season? Because Saquon Barkley, you saw in the injury report, he has a stinger on that shoulder. Seems fine, but still it's there. Cam Jurgens' lower leg still bothering him. Obviously, Landon Dickerson still bothering him. Lane Johnson still trying to come back. Jalen's knee, who knows? There's a real discussion going on right now in Philadelphia about when to finally rest the starters. And again, obviously not this weekend. They got to win on Saturday, lock up the NFC East. But as The Athletic pointed out this morning, Philadelphia has to essentially win out to even have a 43% chance to lock up the number 2 seed. If they drop even one of their next 3, it all but guarantees them the number 3 seed, and overall, the 1 seed, that would really take a miracle. Which has led some to wonder if Philadelphia should consider resting key banged-up starters against maybe Buffalo, and then 100% for sure against the Commanders in Week 18 if they have no way to improve their seed. That way, they create a simulated bye week, people can rest up and get healthy, and then you can kind of feel like a number 1 overall seed before potentially a very long playoff run. And while, of course, it's too early to technically debate this, I am curious your guys' thoughts because assuming they win on Saturday, assuming everything's fixed, then it's fine. They don't blow that football game versus Marcus Mariota's we'll talk about. They're going to be not only NFC East champs, but likely the number 3 overall seed. It can change, but likely the number 3 overall seed. And after Saturday, a real discussion is going to come up. Do you start playing Tanner McKee? I know the WIP boys would love that, but do you actually start playing him in order to rest up some of the other starters? Now, for Philadelphia's opponent on Saturday, they are once again extremely hurting in the injury category. Washington announced earlier this week they are officially shutting down starting quarterback Jayden Daniels for the rest of the season, meaning former Eagle Marcus Mariota will be the only quarterback the Birds face the rest of the regular season, not named Josh Allen. No Jayden Daniels, that's a big loss, obviously, but there's another injury we got to keep an eye on the next couple of days for the Commanders that's probably more important than Jayden Daniels at this point in the season. Washington's best offensive lineman, Larry Tunsil, left this past weekend's win over the Giants with both his shoulder, came back in, and had an oblique injury as well, and his status for Saturday, it's not looking good. Obviously, particularly the quarterback has been a struggle all season long for the Commanders. Well, I think Mariota is one of the more capable backups in the National Football League. If Philadelphia can get to him, like they've done basically every single week the past 3 or 4 to opposing quarterbacks, their chance to lock up the NFC East in style this weekend might be getting a whole lot easier. Also, I want to give a massive shout out to the sponsor of this video, Extra. I've been using the Extra wallets, every single day for the better part of 6 months now. I love the sponsorship, by the way, because the Card Holder Pro, this bad boy right here, my go-to wallet literally every single day, as I mentioned. And then I got my father because he saw this one and said, love it. I want the foldable version. So the Card Wallet Pro right here, he's had that one for, I think, almost 3 or 4 months. We love these wallets. They're absolutely fantastic. Plus, Extra sent me their travel pack vacuum kit. It's a lifesaver. You want to cram a bunch of clothes into a tiny little suitcase or backpack, especially when I go to Philadelphia, this has been my go-to. And so naturally, when Extra reached out and said, hey, we have a Card Holder Pro, this bad boy right here, but it's actually for MagSafe, which I have an iPhone, goes right on there. I was like, send me this one. I want to try it out. And absolutely my favorite wallet of all time. This thing's a game changer. Not only is this Extra's smallest wallet, again, I love small wallets, Thin Wallet Club, where are you at? It's also their smartest wallet yet. It literally snaps right on your iPhone with MagSafe. Magnets work on both sides, so it attaches to any MagSafe accessories as well. It's also made from 100% recycled aluminum, 30% smaller than the regular Card Holder Pro. Did I emphasize I love a small wallet? The card ejection is smoother and faster than anything they've made before. And the ones before were really good. This is even better. Plus, the design is actually cleanable, so it actually lasts even longer. And Christmas, it's right around the corner, and I know you probably have a super old leather foldable wallet that's like 10 times thicker than this bad boy. If you want a super slim, super durable, clean-looking wallet that just pops your cards up just like that, my card's right there, that also conveniently connotes right on the back of your iPhone, this is the one you need to get, whether it's for yourself or a gift for somebody else. And how about this? Extra is actually running their December Christmas sale, which goes from December 8th to December 28th. And usually during their December sale, you get 54% off, which is nuts. But they told me if you use my promo code Mott, you'll get 64% off. I had to double check that, but you want this bad boy right here, 64% off. Just use my link down below, promo code Mott, get the additional 10% off for a total of 64. Check out Extra. Great stocking stuffer, by the way. I love them. You will too. Now, the big question we're all thinking right now in Philadelphia this week, not tied to an injury, of course, is whether or not crushing the Raiders actually means something. Does blanking Las Vegas 31-0 mean the Birds are back, or is it like some of the comments I've seen akin to beating a college football team? AKA, not relevant to the discussion because the Raiders have been terrible this season. And I, for one, am not going to try and convince you the Raiders are not terrible. The Raiders are really good, Philadelphia. That was a big win. It's a big win. However, the key factor everybody's missing is nobody has crushed the Raiders like Philadelphia just did in any recent weeks. For example, the number 1 seeded Broncos in the AFC right now, they beat them 10-7 just last month. And then again, last week, they only won by a touchdown. Or the vaunted Bears, they won by literally 1 point versus that same Raider team. Heck, even the trending Jaguars, red hot right now, they won 30-29. So the answer is yes and no. Sure, yes, the Raiders are a bad football team, but no, I don't think beating them 31-0 can be completely ignored. And it's not just because Philadelphia won, but because they won in style, and someone, I don't know who it was, finally got in Kevin Patullo's ear in a major way this past weekend. Just for starters, Philadelphia ran their lowest rate of the vaunted hitch route, along with the highest rate of crossing routes in any game this season versus Las Vegas. As we mentioned, resulted in Jalen Hurts' best EPA/dropback success of his entire career. Next, how about stud blocking tight end Cameron Latu? We've been begging for him to play a lot more than Grant Calcaterra. He had 19 snaps on Sunday. As Brian Baldinger pointed out in his Twitter film breakdown just yesterday, he had a dramatic effect on the Birds' pretty impressive rushing attack.
This Cameron Latu played 19 snaps on Sunday. All of them were in the running game, including the shovel pass to Goddard for a touchdown. But this is what he does. He lifts Snowden right out of the hole right here. Here comes Bigsby. Then he doubles back and he picks up Devin White. It's like a holiday Macy's sale, 2-for-1 sale during a holiday season. He's an excellent blocker. And they're starting to use him a lot more. Like he's going to be on the he's going to be everything. The F-back, he'll be the fullback, tight end, in motion. Like, just remember the name Latu as we get ready to finish this season and the role that he plays.
And it keeps going. A.J. Brown, how about being utilized in the slot, finally, which was obviously the case on his touchdown pass late in the second half. And then, despite coming in garbage time, Tank Bigsby, 17 carries. We've been begging for that. That's a season high. We've been begging for all of those changes. Literally every single one of the ones I just read to you for weeks now. Since week 1, it's like, when are they going to go, run Tank Bigsby, Cameron Latu? Can they put crossing routes in, ditch the hitch? We've been begging for all of that, and yet it still was not the biggest takeaway, at least for the offense, from Sunday afternoon. Kevin Patullo and Nick Sirianni have finally addressed the under the center game. Like last week versus the Chargers, Philadelphia ran 15 plays under center on offense compared to 51 out of the shotgun. This week, Hurts lined up under center 30 times, nearly double from last week, with all of his big plays coming from that position. And this has been a no-brainer for a long time, but as it shows right here, Hurts' stats for the entire season under center, how about 22 of 34, 300 yards, the third best passer rating in the league, and just 2 sacks. Something Nick Sirianni tried to downplay in his press conference this week, but we all know he's probably bluffing here. This is a big deal.
I think he can be very successful and efficient any way he needs to go and play. Whether that's the gun, whether that's in pistol, whether that's, under center, he's shown the fact that the ability to be able to win and be efficient and with everything from all different levels.
Playing under center really gives Philadelphia 2 main advantages. One, Saquon Barkley has said this, running from under center is so much easier vision-wise. You get ahead of steam, and the rushing game has dramatically improved. And 2, they can play action out of that when the running game is going well and get Jalen out of the pocket, moving with his legs, throwing on the run, or running himself, and that's a major part of Jalen Hurts' game.
Just think you've seen us be better at complementing some of the things we've been doing for the run game and being able to establish the run game. Kind of some of those changes have been to try and get the run game going a bit, and a byproduct has been able to throw it the way we have. This past week, it seemed that we had a lot more runs in under center, so it just naturally complemented when we put it together, and that starts with Coach Sirianni and Coach KP.
Of course, can Jalen Hurts win from the pocket? I mean, sure, go back and watch the Super Bowl film. He did the entire game basically from the pocket. But if you go back last season, watch all 3 games from before the Super Bowl, Jalen Hurts is running all over the place. Design quarterback runs, rollouts, scrambling, RPO. Not allowing him to do this the past 13 weeks this season has truly been criminal. And then good things all stem from this, like Dallas Goedert. He's now up to 4th in receiving touchdowns this season in the entire NFL. And Philadelphia, as a whole, is still on pace, this is pretty crazy, for 2 1,000-yard receivers, a 1,000-yard running back, and a 10-touchdown tight end. So, that's a long-winded answer to the original question of, does the win against the Raiders actually matter? I think it's an emphatic and dramatic yes. And that's just the offense. How about the defensive side of the football? I mean, for example, can I just rave about Brandon Graham one more time today? Because he only played 7 snaps, as we talked about yesterday, all a defensive tackle. But the result of those 7 snaps were a sack, incomplete pass, a sack, incomplete, interception, and a sack. And as a whole, Philadelphia's pass rush, man, they look absolutely incredible. And might I say, it's starting to look a lot like 2022, at least up front. Of course, no, they're not going to get 70 sacks like the 2022 unit, but since the arrival of, say, Jalen Phillips, Philadelphia is 1st in points allowed, 6th in takeaways, 4th in sacks, and 2nd in passer rating allowed. And that's been without Jalen Carter basically the entire time because he has played some, but he's been banged up. Those shoulders have been a problem. But when you compare 2022 to 2025, yes, maybe the fronts are looking similar because the sacks are piling up, the pressure is there. The biggest difference, though, from that Super Bowl team to where we are right now, defensively, the secondary play by the Birds in 2025 is about 10x better than it was in 2022. Philadelphia lost that first Super Bowl to KC because their secondary got absolutely shredded. This season, right now, Quinton Mitchell, he alone has allowed 40 or less receiving yards in 12 of his 14 games. Think about that. Adoree Jackson, he's not allowed more than 4 catches for 69 yards in any game since week 1. When you combine all of that with the fact that Philadelphia went from 10-plus missed tackles in 5 games this season to 0 on Sunday versus the Raiders, all I'm saying is I do not want to face Philadelphia if I'm another NFC team when January rolls around. And speaking of playoffs, Philadelphia now has a chance to lock up the division on Saturday, win, and they are in, which would also give them a chance to rest people, maybe week 18, because the 1 seed's probably not going to happen, maybe the 2, but if they're locked into the 3 after the Bill game, they can rest everybody week 18 and create and manufacture their own bye week. Now, of course, one good game does not mean Philadelphia's season is saved or that Kevin Patullo's a genius or that everything is fixed. I understand that. I saw y'all's comments, and I agree with them. They must back this up with a solid win on Saturday versus a very bad, very old, and very banged up Washington Commander team. But if they do, and they look competent, doesn't it be 31-0, but, look good. Don't look bad like they did the past couple of weeks. I'm buying back in. I think a lot of you guys are buying back in too. We'll obviously see, but man, I'm pumped right now. And it's just at least fun to have a fun game, a complete game, a game where you look back and go, wow, Philadelphia can do something the rest of the way. Because we've had a lot of games this season where you tried to find the good, but in reality, it was 3.5 quarters of really, really bad. Now, of course, plenty more stuff happening the next couple of days and weeks. It's a shortened week, but still plenty of shows to get you ready for Saturday afternoon. And the giveaways, which are still going on. I'll link all down below how to enter. Also, go sub to my buddy's channel, help his channel grow. Let him know I sent you to go ahead and win this bad boy and this bad boy. One wins this, one wins that, just FYI. And watch out for scammers, as usual. I get a lot of you guys saying, hey, did I win? You DM me. I only announce it on the video. If you see me announce your name on the video, then you've won. If you read about it in a comment, you didn't win. It's a scammer. Sorry about that. Either way, I'm Thomas Mott. This has been Thomas Mott Show.